These are called scare apples. The more you terrify them, the better they taste. It all depends on their scare level. The highest grade apples can sell for $1 billion. Legend says only 3 people have ever reached a scare level above 80. Machine guns, grenades, even with all that firepower, the best they could do was level 5. Then, a guy named Birdie stepped up. He let out a massive roar right at an apple, and it shot up to level 27, making him the current champion. Next, a beautiful woman walked up. She whispered to the apple that she would leave it in the sun until it turned into a raisin. The apple froze in terror, jumping to level 30. Then came a man who just started rambling nonsense to one of the apples. Bored out of its mind, the apple fell asleep. A bearded man tried intimidating his apple with an axe, but the apple just looked at him with disgust. So Birdie gathered all his strength into his right hand and threw the most powerful punch of his life. The shockwave blasted the crowd back, and his fist stopped just 1 centimeter away from the apple. The poor thing fainted from fear, but it only reached level 40. Worse yet, once an apple faints, it loses all its value as food. Birdie realized he still needed to get stronger. 2.5 hours later, that same apple woke up, only to see the rambling guy still talking. It completely broke down and jumped straight to level 50. Just then, the appraiser spotted a level 90 apple lying on the ground. He instantly knew there was a master among them. Turns out, the bearded man, insulted by the apple's disdainful glare, farted right at it. That single move terrified the apple so much, it hit level 90. The bearded man was overjoyed by his newfound power, but everyone else lost interest. I mean, who would ever want to eat an apple that got attacked by a fart?
You can build a house with just a few boxes of matches, but the eldest pig took it way too far. He grabbed a handful of sticks, stuck them in the ground, popped open a bone umbrella for a beam, strung up rows of netting along the sides, and finally laid straw with a fork, and a fancy thatched cottage was done in a jiffy. Unlike his 2 older brothers, the youngest pig was down to earth and built with red bricks and cement, because he knew only that could keep the big bad wolf out. But his 2 brothers, who only cared about fooling around, didn't listen a single word. They even mocked him as a fool with gestures when they saw him slaving away at the house. The youngest pig, who was mixing cement, just shrugged it off when he saw that. Just then, the big bad wolf stepped out of the forest. Spotting the 2 brothers dancing up a storm, the wolf instantly dressed up as a showgirl. And as it swayed with those graceful moves, the 2 brothers were totally hypnotized. Seeing that, the wolf inched backwards step by step, planning to lure him behind a rock before making its move. Everyone thought the brothers were a goner, but turns out they had their eyes on the wolf's clothes. Humiliated, the wolf quit faking it and bared its sharp fangs. Realizing they were in trouble, the 2 brothers scampered back to the thatched cottage in a flash. In response, the wolf lit it up with a match and burned it to cinders. While the brothers were still gaping in shock, the wolf opened the door and closed in on them step by step. They darted into the matchstick house, but the wolf rammed it, and the house crumbled right then and there. Stunned, the 2 brothers tried to rebuild it in a rush, but when the wolf plopped down the last matchstick, the house collapsed all over again. Seeing the danger, they bolted to the youngest pig's house. Furious at being blocked by the door once more, the wolf started slamming into it like a madman. No matter how it reared up and kicked like crazy or let out its deafening wolf's howl, the door didn't budge an inch. To make it even madder, the pigs teased it about having stinky breath. Enraged, the wolf gathered all its strength and then lunged forward at full speed, but at the crucial moment, the youngest pig swung the door open suddenly. Since brute force didn't work, the wolf decided to use trickery. It disguised itself as a ragged old street performer busking in the wind and snow. When the eldest and second pigs saw it, they were so moved they rushed to open the door without thinking. Even though the youngest pig tried to stop him, he got shoved aside. By the time he got up, they'd already let the wolf in. Hiding nearby, the youngest pig suddenly spotted the record player behind the wolf. He snuck up quiet as a mouse and swapped the sappy song for an upbeat tune. As the wolf's disguise fell off, the 2 brothers realized they were sunk and fled to the second floor with the youngest pig in a hurry. But even though they barricaded the door, the wolf got in from the other side. The youngest pig quickly herded his 2 brothers into the elevator and hit the down button. The wolf hurried to press the button too and follow, but never having seen an elevator before, it stepped right in. In the next second, it crashed hard onto the floor.